of this magical faith of King David's royal throne and the mystic of King David and the lineage of Solomon and the lineage of the line and the DNA of the King of Kings, you know?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it's on the bloodline. As I do have an album coming up, and my new album, Cedric Myton, will be named Cedric Myton of the Congos.
I know very well.
Yeah, and it's going to be called The Bloodline DNA.
Yeah.
That's the name of the album.
Yeah.
Bloodline
DNA.
So anyway, we move on, and we found out during the passage of years growing up that we're on the right track. That King David's royal throne is the throne of grace. So, and you see, growing up, we try to be, you have that humility of searching, and with ourselves and the elders, For even in Jamaica, the Rasta people have gone through a lot of struggle. In this time, it's much lighter. The struggle is much lighter now.
Yeah.
But in those days, as we are growing up, in the 70s, in the 60s, as the bell told, in the 60s, it's significant. In the 60s, when we getting to know ourselves, or as kids, getting to know ourselves growing up, and getting to know ourselves that the Rasta faith is the right faith,
Can I stop you? Because you feed me and I feed back to you. Because I see this like an archetype, you and the elders, and you are young, and they educate. The meaning of educate is to chuck from you everything. So this is the archetype.
Yeah.
You lived in that time, 60s, that was important for the whole world, the movements. You remember
Strong.
me, the Black Power.
Yeah.
You remember me, Malcolm X. You remember me, a lot of things. But maybe you in Jamaica, you was most attracted by the magic of the power of the Rastafarians that come straight from the very old Africa.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what we have been through.
Yeah.
For even in Jamaica, I could remember in about 62, somewhere there was an uproar against the Rasta, the government. There was some problem, and they start to physically kill. For they have a place in Montego Bay is called Coral Garden, and this place was where a lot of Rasta used to live. And the government, which was Bustamante then, or the JLP government, I don't want to be so politics by calling the name, but it's a part of the program. And it was, and it is. They destroy a lot of Rasta, physically kill, and even destroy that place called Coral
Dismantled totally.
Yeah, and a lot of people died and all those things. Lots of Rasta have to trim off their head, trim off their ear.
I read on some books.
So that's a part of it. Even I myself went through that trimming in 1976. 1976, the 8th of January, Ethiopian Christmas. We were celebrating Ethiopian Christmas in Jamaica. And I was riding my bike. Well, we went, that was the 7th. After the 7th becomes the 8th. All right. The 8th, I was going home from the celebration to go back the following day.
Yeah.
It was in the morning, going home, and after blah blah blah, eating some food and preparing things for the kids, go back late in the evening to the celebration for
You
his
was already a daddy.
yeah,
you're a
yeah,
child.
lots of
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Up to now I have 9 kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was trimmed at the Denham Town Police Station.
Trim in the hair.
Cut
Cut
off
the dreadlocks.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, baldhead in the 8th of January 1976. And
You was one of them because
Yeah,
I read in the books.
I
in
was
Pinnacle, in the other side.
yeah, I was one of the main victims.
Yeah.
For I was the one that brought it out to the light. For the week before the trimming, there was a program they call Impulse. Yeah, they come at my home in Duane Park and film me were doing. Used to have the machine that knits vests, ganzes, and beret tams and all those things. So they come this week and film me doing all those things. And the following week I'm gonna get trimmed. So it was 1 week a dreadlock,
Yeah.
and next week a bald head
Yeah.
on the television. So it was a mistake, but some things came out of it. You know, lots of things came out of it. Also, you know, for we have meeting with the government and lots of delegation with the government, the ministers, and blah 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 blah.
Yes.
And it was Michael Manley at the time, you know.
Yeah.
And they were willing to pay. They were willing to pay me some money for the locks that they trim.
How can they pay for this?
So I tell them, well, if you can pay everybody else that you trim,
Yeah.
you pay me last, but pay everybody first and then you come and
Yeah.
pay me. So when you do that, so,
Because you know Babylon speak with money every time.
yeah, so they offer me some money, but I refuse. I tell them the money can't pay for my locks.
Yeah.
Then,
But you say locks like you say a sign, a symbol,
yeah,
or your locks.
yes, yeah.
Because you know it's quite different if you are a symbol, union of thinking,
Yeah.
or your particular
Yeah.
DNA of your dreads.
DNA.
You know it's quite different. I am. I used to interrupt my interviews people because it's mine reality.
Wait.
So I am.
You have to.
You're great because like all the elder people have this quality to tell these stories, and this first point that we have to rebring on us, yes, because young people don't used to hear
These things.
Yes, things that old people say, and it's very cool that I asked you about musical facts, but you start to tell me this.
For it's real.
Yeah. It's real because
It's a part of it. For you see.
But I'm here to ask you something other that I don't know yet if it's true or it's not true. That's why downstairs I told you I have to ask something more particular and delicate that involved in my reality and my life. Can I tell you this in 1 minute and
For
then
sure.
you try to
Explain.
and please excuse me if my words will be not so cool like yours because I'm born in Babylon.
Yeah.
I feel this difference of reggae music in reverse because first he hit me like something, but after I brought this in my life and I understand. But I used to be quite sharp when I tell this story because I do music. It's been 20 years that I collaborate with some dub producer of my friends is Neil Fraser from very long time, the Mad Professor. So I often
Good friend.
goes to London and
Good friend.
I want to tell you this because it's a story that is 15 years that is in